Thanks for joining us at the news desk of the Energy Storage Association's 2019 Conference and Expo here in Phoenix, Arizona. My name's Mike O'Neill. I'm a lawyer with the law firm K&L Gates. I'm here with Brent Berglund, Market Director for Mortenson Company. Brent, thanks a lot for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about Mortenson and how you got into the energy storage sector?
Yeah, certainly. So Mortenson is a 60-plus-year-old privately held construction company, and we've been involved in building renewable energy facilities for 20-plus years. And we've grown those businesses from wind into solar, and then to add a bunch of electrical infrastructure capabilities within the organization. And in 2015, we decided to create a market sector focus on energy storage. Mm-hmm. And so I was tapped by the company to lead that market sector, and leveraging my 14 years of experience in working in the wind business, and there's lots of reasons why that's the right thing to do with our utility and independent power producer and developer customers, who most of them are migrating from wind into solar and solar into energy storage, so it was pretty logical. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really fortunate to be leading a team and being on a fairly early stage of this market and now ready to watch it really take off.
So you all conducted a pretty in-depth survey of the space back in 2016. How have you seen the market evolve since those findings and not until today?
I still classify it as still a pretty young and oftentimes chaotic market. There's a lot of very reputable companies that are in it and in it for the long haul, but then we've also seen a bunch of companies come into it and say, now is not the time to be in this space, and will focus their energy elsewhere, and then probably will come back in. And so I expect the market to, at least from the market players and the supply chain providers and the EPC contractors, to kind of come in and out to a certain extent. But what we see now is the market from an activity standpoint, and utilities who are seeking energy storage to solve whatever challenges that they're looking for. We're right at the bottom of the hockey stick and are starting to see trends in that, and so that market activity is really important. And now we've also seen projects grow in size tremendously. I wouldn't say overnight, but pretty close to. Is that over the last 6 to 12 months, what might be a big project at 10 megawatts and 4-hour system, we're now talking 100, 150, 300 megawatt 4-hour systems, and that's pretty crazy to see that type of growth and that type of activity happen.
So what kind of lessons is Mortenson taking from its long experience in the renewable sector and infrastructure construction more broadly, and bringing into the energy storage sector?
Elevate our performance by controlling as much as we can in-house.
Oh, okay.
And some examples of that are the creation of the operating group that I work for. So our operating group is called High Voltage Transmission, and we do multiple electrical infrastructure project types. And we created that business focus and that operating group in 2012 in response to our customers who are saying, you need to take control of the electrical infrastructure of these wind and solar projects better than you do today. So we answered the call of our customers, created our operating group, and so we are doing as much as we can in-house with design and procurement and construction services. So we see that as a very key way to enhance our performance from a safety standpoint, quality, schedule performance, financial performance, is to control it as much as with in-house services. And that's also allowed us to grow into adjacent parts of the chain. Mm-hmm. So for example, a few years ago, we created an energy services business unit for the purpose of providing operations and maintenance services to wind and solar. And so that's an adjacency to construction. We, in 2017, created an engineering business unit to start designing the work that we build that's adjacent to the work that we had traditionally been subcontracting out to other third party. And so we continue to build up our more fully integrated delivery of services as a company.
I see. And what regions are you focused on? Are you interested in a particular geography more than another? Are you interested in expanding the footprint globally or internationally?
So we're focused in the U.S. market, and we're a nationwide company. We've got 5,000 employees, and we're nearly $5 billion in revenue, and we work in almost every state in the country. And so to have a focus on one region, our customers are going to decide where they're going to build projects, and so those decisions are up to them. The markets that are most active for us right now are Arizona, California, Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, and so those 5 states are the ones where I spend most of my time in building projects and also looking for the next opportunities. But with our customer base being across the country, if they want us to come build in Florida or North and South Carolina, we certainly will do that.
And are most of the projects you work on utility scale grid connected, or do you do things that are behind the meter as well as in front of the meter?
So mostly utility grid connected scale projects. Our energy and infrastructure side of Mortenson is about 25 or 30% of the entire company. And so we have a lot of business in sports, healthcare, education, hospitality, data centers, where many of those project types have their own energy challenges, some of which can be solved by energy storage. And so we are, call it cross-selling or cross-serving some of our commercial operating groups by helping them solve energy challenges on those projects with our in-house energy storage expertise.
And looking a little bit into the future, 3 to 5 years, where do you think the energy storage sector is going, and where do you see Mortenson helping to solve some of those challenges that the industry might face, and harvest some of the opportunities the industry is going to present?
Right. Well, one of the things that the energy storage needs is we need more standardization. Right now, everything is absolutely customized. Every project is different than the next one, and there's a lot of activity that's underway with supporting the standardization goal. And so by doing that is going to lower the cost of energy. It's going to improve the certainty of outcomes on projects. And so I see that as a really key thing that needs to happen, and I believe it's going to happen. And because of our broad footprint and multiple customers and where we sit in the value chain, I think we play a really key role in that. And so standardization is really important for me. We're going to continue to see energy storage paired with lots of solar. We're just seeing the beginnings of figuring out if energy storage is a good complement to wind power. As one of the nation's largest wind power contractors, we would love to see those business cases prove themselves out more fully. And I also believe that there's going to be a challenge and an opportunity for Mortenson. Again, we get to intersect our energy infrastructure competency with our building side, and when energy storage, especially utility grid scale, needs to be located in the urban environment, and it's probably not going to be in a containerized system, and it's going to go into a building, and in many cases renovating a space to then house energy storage, is we get to then leverage kind of both sides of the Mortenson organization to actually be able to pull off those projects. And so we have, with our locations of offices around the country, we also have some strengths to leverage there as well.
Sure, and it sounds like a really exciting strategic move by Mortenson to move into energy storage and start taking advantage of a lot of those opportunities.
Yeah, it's fun to see the interest and energy excitement internally, especially when it comes to people. We had an innovation challenge on ways to improve efficiency and performance of actually constructing projects, and we ran this challenge, and we had something like 140 different innovation ideas submitted by team members, most of them who aren't on our energy and infrastructure side of our business. And so they volunteered and they said, I'd like to help improve that side of the business because I think I have some interesting ideas. And when it comes to when you need to bring in more resources into the group by approaching somebody who may not be on the energy storage side and say, hey, we'd like to have you guys start working on energy storage, they're all very much will say yes and yes and yes. So it's kind of cool.
That's really exciting. So thank you very much for your time. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for. So thank you very much for joining us at the news desk here at Energy Storage Association 2019 in Phoenix, Arizona.